This time I would like to introduce some of must-watch anime series from the 2026 winter anime season, which starts airing in January. First of all, the lineup for the 2026 winter anime season is absolutely incredible. I would like to start by introducing the squills, and I will quickly go through them now. Medalist Season 2, Mato Shihei no Slave Season 2, or Chained Soldier, Hime-sama Goumon no Jikan Season 2, Vigilante Season 2, Trigun Stargate, Frieren Beyond Journey's End Season 2, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, Oshinoko Season 3, MF Ghost Season 3, and Fire Force Season 3 Part 2. As you can see, all the big titles are concentrated here. It's like all the recent super hit titles. The lineup is just incredible, and that alone is just amazing. Already amazing. But there are also quite a few new promising series. That was quite an introduction to the squills. But as you can see, the lineup is incredible. Now I will introduce the new series. The first is Opposite of You and Me. It's a romantic comedy about a girl, Suzuki, who is always energetic and social, but worried about what others think, and a boy, Tani, who is quiet but clearly expresses opinions. The story depicts how these two slowly understand and deepens their relationship while navigating and misunderstandings and misinterpretations along their school lives with their friends. The Opposite of You and Me is an anime based on a manga serialized in Jump Plus, and the animation is being handled by Lepin-Track, the studio that worked on series like Komi, Can't Communicate, and Undead Girl Murder Farce. So the expectations are quite high. It seems like Lepin-Track is on a roll, and this is a broadcast in Japanese language slot. The Japanese language slot is quite competitive, so they are putting quite a lot efforts into it, and we can expect a high quality production. Furthermore, since the original manga is already completed, we can expect a clean adaptation to all the way to the end. Currently only one core has been announced, but we are looking forward to more. The story follows Charlie, a human chimpanzee hybrid born between a human and a chimpanzee, as he confronts various social problems as discrimination, prejudice, and violence in human society. This is a very contemporary and socially conscious work, and while the theme might seem complex and challenging, it features incredibly tense conflict structures and very high level of suspense. It's truly captivating and interesting work. The original manga was also quite popular, and now it's finally being adapted into an anime. The animation production is being held by Bellnox Films, a newly established production company, and Darwin's game is their first major project. Based on the released anime PV, the quality is very high and a lots of efforts has been put into it. So this Darwin's game adaptation is expected to be highly anticipated work. Midnight Heart Chain. Yamabuki Alliance, a perfectionist heirs from a wealthy family, was captivated by the voice of Apollo, the late-night radio personality whose show she listened to every night. She harbored various feelings for him. However, one day Apollo suddenly disappeared, leaving a gaping hole in her heart. Desperate to find him, she exhausted every possible avenue of searching, but to no avail. Her only lead was a particular high school where she suspected he might be. Driven by her desire to find Apollo, Alice transfers to this high school. Her only clue to Apollo's identity is the voice she heard on the radio every night. In her search to find a voice similar to of Apollo's, she discovers a broadcasting club. There she finds 4 girls who dreams of becoming singers, voice actors, VTubers, and announcers, all with voices similar to Apollo's. Is Apollo among them? Alice sets out to help each of them achieve their dreams, resulting in a coming-of-age story. It's a story with a mystery element. The protagonist's love interest is somewhere among these girls, but it also beautifully depicts their earnest pursuit of their dreams. It's a very charming coming-of-age romantic comedy. The protagonist is quite unique and I personally like her, but the heroines are also all excellent characters. I think the anime adaptation will be quite enjoyable. The hero Type 2 designation was a punishment even more severe than death. Those subjected to it were thrown onto the front lines of the battlefield against the demon lord and forced to fight. So even if they die, their bodies are recovered and they are forcibly resurrected, and then they are thrown back into the front lines of the battle, and they have to keep repeating this cycle. That's what the hero system is all about. The protagonist of this work, Zyro, is a former knight commander who committed a sin of killing a goddess, and he is stripped of his rank and sentenced to hero system. And of course, besides Zyro, there are other heroes who have committed crimes and been sentenced to the hero system, and Zyro along with them will be taking harsh missions. That's the kind of the work this is. This work is a rather dark and intense battle oriented, or perhaps I should say war themed dark fantasy. And the original work is quite interesting, but the anime also looks amazing. It's being produced by Studio Kai, and from the PV it looks like it's going to be one of the best animated new works of the season. I am getting a strong feeling that it's going to be something special. So this is definitely something to keep an eye on. The next one is The Magician Who Can See, The Blind Boy. This is a fantasy work where a blind boy creates eyes for himself using his water magic and sees the world. The unconventional ideas and insatiable curiosity of the protagonist to know are very interesting. This work is quite heartwarming rather than focusing on battles. The story centers around the research and exploration of magic and the interesting ideas. The fact that protagonist is blind isn't depicted as handicap, but rather it's depicted as unique individual personality. It's a very heartwarming work, and I have very high expectations from it. Faith Strange Fake has finally arrived. It's been a long time coming. Originally it was scheduled to air in 2022 as part of a special New Year program of Faith Eve, but it was postponed, and then the following year a special anime, Faith Strange Fake Whispers of Dawn, which is the story of the beginning of Strange Faith, was broadcast. And then after many years from 2023 to January 2026, Faith Strange Fake will start as a TV series. I have been waiting for this. Whispers of Dawn was incredibly interesting and amazing. I am so excited that they are finally making a TV series continuation of it. My expectations are incredibly high and it's finally coming. So I am incredibly excited. Strange Fake has a rather unusual setting for the series. It's a false holy grail war taking place in America, which through various circumstances becomes incredibly distorted and chaotic. It's a work where many unconventional and crazy servants and masters are intertwined, and the battle scenes are incredibly powerful and flashy, perhaps the best in the series. Since it's being produced by A1 Pictures, it will be depicted with incredibly high picture quality. I am so excited that Faith Strange Fake TV series is finally starting. I am incredibly excited about this. It's a story about making living through death games. The girls participate in game where death is always lurking. If they survive, they can win prize money. But no matter how prepared they are, they can easily lose their lives. This work picks up the life of those who live in such a world. That's what making a living through death games is about. This work is what you would call a death game story, but the protagonist is a professional in these death games. She is a girl who participates in death games to earn her daily living expenses, repeatedly surviving and winning. The other players around her are all beautiful young girls. There are also various settings related to this. However, anyway, these children engage in quite a brutal battle. But what's interesting about this work is that there's no blood. You will understand that when you will watch it. So I will keep that secret for now. But the setting is very interesting and the various death games are all incredibly well thought. I think it's a visually stunning work. Judging from the anime PV that's been released, the atmosphere is quite good and I think this is something to look forward to. Iris Holy Grail, the unassuming noble woman whose only virtue is sincerity. Constance Grail is trapped in a predicament due to the machination of her fiancé, Mistress. Just as she is about to be condemned, a voice whispers in her ear, "I will help you." And that voice belongs to Scarlet, the Duke's daughter, who was executed 10 years ago, known as the Wicked Witch of her generation. From there, Connie becomes possessed by Scarlet and helps her with her revenge. At the same time, a massive conspiracy surrounding the entire aristocratic society begins to rear its head in this work. This is the first work by this author on the Let's Become a Novelist platform, and it's a really excellent original work. Many works that are considered excellent are being adapted into anime for the winter season, and I am really looking forward to anime adaptation of Iris Holy Grail, which is one of my personal favorites. So this time I introduced some of my personally anticipated works from the 2026 winter anime season. The winter anime season is incredible. First of all, the squills in this lineup are amazing. Frieren, Golden Kamayu, Oshinoko, Medalist and more. The fact that all of these are in same season is unbelievable. But besides those, there are many other highly anticipated works such as Faith, various hero-themed series, Death Games, Iris Holy Grail, Magic Cyclone, and many others. It's going to be an amazing season. It's finally here. Whoa, this lineup is just incredible. I am so excited just looking at it. I am really looking forward to it starting soon. Well, this time there are so many noteworthy works that I could only introduce a small section, but please feel free to share your works in the comment section. See you again.